What's up, grappler fans? I've got my 95 Bronco here, which it ain't much, but it's actually the cleanest and nicest thing I have right now because I've got these projects that are in 500 pieces, hoping to get them all together before too long. But for right now, this is the one that I kind of take out on the weekends and enjoy and try to keep shined up and everything. But it is filthy right now. I haven't washed it since I ceramic sprayed it. I didn't actually do the full permanent ceramic coating. I use some of the Zephyr ceramic spray, which is like a 6-month kind of deal instead of multiple years of protection. But it's been sitting out here. I've been mowing the grass, mowing my dirt here. I got this dirt pit from where I was going to put a shop, but there'll be more details on that in the future. But right now I just got a dirt pit, and this thing's dusty, gross. It's got pine straw sitting all on it. And I want to see how well I can shine up this paint just by taking it to the old paint spray and get this thing cleaned up some. So I want to give y'all a few tips on how to wash your rig the right way, especially with a color like this, whether it's black or this is a little bit different. It's Kodiak brown. Has a nice root beer kind of metal flake to it. Any of these darker colors are really going to show swirl marks and scratches, and most of the time you go to a do-it-yourself car wash or one of the ones where you drive through and it does it for you, you're gonna have a bad time. So I'm gonna show y'all what I do in order to make it look right going through a car wash, and we'll get this thing cleaned up, and I'll give you a little bit more of the backstory on my project truck. All right, so the first thing that is a little bit unfortunate about the pay and spray is you gotta wait your turn. There's a line right now, so I'm gonna take this time to give y'all a couple pointers on using a public car wash. First of all, if you haven't heard already, do not go through a car wash that touches your vehicle in any way. If it has things that spin around and slap the dirt off your vehicle, it's slapping everybody else's dirt into your paint and just scratching it up, whether you can notice it or not. Now, I've got a filthy truck over here, and you would think, oh, it'll be better than it is now. No, it actually is better to not wash it while it's filthy than to take it through something and have it just smear all that dirt into your paint, because when you hit the sunlight and you're trying to shine the thing up just right, you'll never get those swirls out without some compound and some elbow grease and some buffing. It's just going to be a lot more work than just actually washing it the right way and taking time. Now, I'm pretty lazy. I'm going to do this pretty easy. I'm going to be spraying this thing off, but I wanted to show you there's brushes at pretty much every car wash hanging on the side of the wall there. You can just pick one up. It's got foam coming out of it. Super simple, right? Do not use that thing. Okay, I brought my own. All right, so first off, don't mind my crap dash and car seat and everything in here, but this is a cheap Walmart brush, but it's brand new and it is not gonna scratch my paint unless I get in here on all this dirt that's already in here. So the main thing is to have some kind of protection on your paint already, whether it's waxed up real nice, or for me, I got the ceramic spray. Get that paint a nice protectant so that you can just pressure wash all the dirt off pretty well, and then your brush is kind of just getting the water spots and stuff that is not really going to scratch it. So we'll take a look here. Still got some time before I have an open spot, but I'm going to use my own brush and try to clean this thing up really nice and just do like a 10-minute job and get rid of months of dirt that's just been sitting on here from dust and rain and hurricanes and everything else. So here's your typical foam brush that's at the car wash. It's attached. It's got soap coming through, like I said, and every squatted truck owner has driven through the mud at 3 a.m. and coming through and washed their truck already. You may not be able to tell, but this thing is just full of dirt that's just waiting to scratch your paint up. So I got my own here. I'm going to start by spraying it off, like I said. I think this is the soap guy on this one. Every one of them's a little bit different. There's a random just water hose over here, but got the main sprayer up here. I'm going to go ahead and pressure wash it off and then pick y'all up from there. So before we get this thing dried up, drive down the road a little bit and show y'all how the hood turned out, since that was the nastiest part. Just wanted to really reiterate, you want to stay away from even a soft touch. If it's touching your paint, it's no good. It's going to scratch it up. Touch free is not bad. That's just a big pressure washer deal. Now, I think you could do a better job yourself, but touch free is decent. Stay away from the soft touch, in my opinion. So I hope that helps you guys. Now I want to go into a little bit more. What I do like touching my paint with is Zephyr polishes. I don't like anything foreign on my paint, whether it's a public thing that doesn't belong to me or legitimately something from overseas. I actually like that Zephyr polishes makes everything in America. When I talk to the owner, I'm actually talking to the owner about, you know, what products I want, which products I'm going to use. They're not that hard to get a hold of. They are out at events actually cleaning stuff up, so can't recommend them enough. Also, as you can see, as it's drying up here a little bit, we are going to have some water spots since I'm taking so long. A leaf blower really help with that. It'll help with all this running streaks and stuff here, but it is cleaning up pretty nicely. I'll not show you all that right yet, but let's get to another spot, show you how it's looking, and then we'll talk more about my projects. All right, as you can see, it is nice and sunny now. It's actually the next day. It was a little bit too overcast to really give y'all a good idea of how much this thing cleaned up. So today, I actually drove it to work. I was planning on having to pick up our baby from my wife's doctor's appointment, so I needed something that I could have the car seat in. And right now I got the Toyota pickup, which is a 2-door. No way to put a car seat in that. It's a little tiny single cab. And then the Volkswagen TDI diesel I've been working on currently is having some brake issues. So the Bronco is the only one really up for the task, besides my wife's car that she needed to drive there. So drove it today, and it did actually get a little bit of dirt from a stray cat that has decided to sit on the hood. But that's enough talking. This thing is really clean now. I got some nice light. I'm going to show y'all a few clips of how this hood is looking, even with the new dirt on it. You can't keep things clean around my house, but I'm just super happy with how, you know, shiny this paint gets with the ceramic spray that's on it, and then just a quick wipe down at the public car wash. And as you can see in this video, hopefully I'm not gonna be lying to you, hopefully there's no swirl marks that you guys can see. So let's check it out. Got my little cutie in here with the AC blasting. She's getting a little heavy to hold, but got her out of the car seat so she can kind of walk around while we're on this dirt road here. But here's a look at this paint. You can see it really reflecting all these trees really well now. And as I mentioned, there is some fresh dirt on it. I'll show you right here. There's some footprints from some cat that keeps jumping up on here. So that's really annoying, but overall, just super happy with how well I can get this paint to clean up without scratching it doing it that way. This Bronco still has some little projects like this trim here. The frame has some surface rust I want to address, and the interior still needs some work. A couple little paint touch-ups here and there, like on the grill where it's kind of faded. But overall, I think that is pretty helpful for most people. I don't know if you have any other opinions or suggestions for how to clean your car up in public, or do you recommend just always doing it at home? I do have a pressure washer, but I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of show y'all how you can do it without buying one. Then again, you know, a pressure washer may pay for itself. But another thing real quick, if you haven't seen already, I did put the spare 33 on the back here. Wanted to get y'all's opinion on that. It's the same as these other ones here, 33 by 1350 on a 15 with a remanufactured or refinished factory Ford wheel there. So pretty stoked on that. But I mean, just look at this paint, man. I could stand out here all day, show this different angles from you, or different angles for you. You know, I'm not seeing any swirl marks yet. Paint is 1.5 years old or so, maybe 2 years now, and it just shines up so nicely. I hope those quick tips help you. That's how I've been taking care of the paint on this thing. This is obviously, you know, something we take to the beach and drive around, have fun with. It's not our main vehicle or anything, so it's typically a little easier to take care of, but at the same time, it's been sitting outside because I've had some other priorities in the garage. So Because my old Bronco has to sit outside in the rain, I use Zephyr Polish's ceramic spray to keep the water spots off my new paint job. With that, I wanted to let you guys know that I used this Bronco as a guinea pig for this paint color, this Ford Kodiak Brown, that I intend to use on my 1967 6.7 Powerstroke swap. I absolutely love the color. I loved it before I put it on here, but now living with it, it is a lot of maintenance to keep this paint clean. Because it's basically black and has a mirror finish, so everything shows up on it. But the way it shines in the sun and looks black from most angles, and then as you kind of walk around it, you kind of get that color change to a nice, you know, root beer or copper. What do you guys want to call it? I mean, I know it has a name, Kodiak Brown, but what is that like look that it has? I don't even know what to call it, but I love it. I think I'm going to paint my my big crew cab diesel truck the same color when it's all said and done. And I want to give you all a few more details on that, but I'm going to try to do that as a voiceover because right now the truck's in a bunch of pieces and tarped up in the backyard. So I want to show you some clips of what it's going to look like, and if you can imagine this color on it and a very factory look, I think you can kind of get the picture and hopefully be excited for what's to come on that truck. This is my 1967 Crew Cab F250 that took me forever to find because they really didn't make that many four-door trucks back then. And I'm absolutely in love with the body lines of this truck, and my plans are to put it on my wrecked 2016 6.7 Powerstroke chassis that I purchased from Copart. This truck currently has a running V8, but I want that V8 6.7 Powerstroke and the four-wheel drive axles and everything that come along with it. So you can see here, I picked up that wrecked truck. It was in pretty decent shape. It was wrecked on the driver's side. Then I proceeded to cut it into a go-kart and have a little bit of a good time with it. It's currently sitting in my backyard though, as I started this project in 2020 and have gotten bogged down by life, which I've explained in a previous video. My inspiration behind this project was my 2011 King Ranch F250 that I got done up pretty nicely. And my $800 68 F100 that I picked up as a quick flip, and I realized if I had combined them, it would have been the perfect truck. This next clip I'm going to show you is someone that had the same idea around the same time, and they've already completed it. Hunt Tyler 5, I'll put a link in the description, or at least tag him in the video, has already done my dream truck around the same time, but so much faster. He has a 1968 truck on a 2014 chassis, basically same everything. He's extended the cab in the same way I plan to, everything. I've been pretty, you know, emotional roller coaster of this truck, seeing someone else do exactly what I want. I thought mine was going to be one of one, but one of two is not bad, and the guy's got great taste. I really can't, you know, say anything negative about him. He's made it happen. I've only talked about it. So check this truck out. His is actually on airbag suspension that was custom fabricated between him and I think Dude's Fab Shop. And he's changed a few things, but you can see he's got the newer interior from his King Ranch. I plan to use the newer black interior from my Lariat. I may end up changing that later down the road. But basically this gives you the idea of the dimensions of my truck. And you can kind of see where my head's at with it. The body lines are awesome. His obviously isn't painted yet. He actually sold the truck unpainted like this for someone to paint and make it their own. And I don't really know where it is right now, what the status of it is, but you can see the same process that I'm going to have to do, he's already done, and kind of proof of concept. He cut up the crew cab, he stretched it with another single cab, and he also made basically a running, driving go-kart out of his 6.7 as I have done. So watch with me. I hope to show a little bit more than he did. He did a nice recap at the end that I got these clips from, but I want to show y'all in real time as I get this thing together, however long that may take. So stay tuned, and now I want to show you what my truck's going to look like. I've actually got a professional rendering done. Alright guys, here it is, professional rendering done by Jeremy Bannis, who I met through the guys at Any Level Lift, and he's actually helping me with my website for GRAPPAHOLICS. Hopefully that'll be up soon or already by the time you guys watch this. But you can see the Kodiak Brown paint, the 1967 grill, and factory bumpers, the big West Coast tow mirrors. I've got some cab lights here. I wanted to put all the details I could into this truck to kind of show that everything I'm doing with it is very intentional. I don't plan to just throw it together and then do whatever's the easiest. Making the stock bumpers work is going to be really tough, among other things. And you can see here it is on a 4-inch BDS lift with the Fox coilover shocks. I teamed up with BDS on this project, and they actually have provided all of the hard parts and Fox shocks for this kit, which is sitting in my garage right now in boxes waiting for me to get back to it. They've been really patient with me. I can't stress enough how much I love BDS. I've got their 2-inch leveling kit on my Bronco and have run them on my previous trucks. Just love their stuff. So with that, I also have 40-inch Nitto trail grapplers with a 17-inch American Racing Outlaw 2 wheel. That's the current plan, basically going for the factory old school look, but not necessarily 1967, more of like, you know, a 7.3 Powerstroke kind of wheel look, or like my Bronco. And then that big meaty tire, which will have a ton of sidewall, being a small wheel. So that's the plans for now. I do want to swap the setup here and there as time goes on. But here's a quick, you know, just overview of what you guys are waiting for if you watch my videos about the truck. It is not going to be some hacked together thing that looks like a new truck and an old truck had a weird baby. It's going to be epic. Thanks for the help with the video. Yeah, you did a good job.